under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports fan from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome into another edition of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, joining me in studio this afternoon or almost evening is none other than Andrew Mighty Man Sheid. How you doing, Mighty Man?
I'm doing all right, Derrick. How are you doing today?
So far, so good. You know, got a little bit of a truncated show today, but hey, it's spring training. It's the Chicago White Sox, which you are able to hear on these very airwaves, WRMN 1410 AM. And, well, unfortunately, what was the score of the game?
They lost 6-5, but when you have a 7-5 spring training record as it stands right now, as a Sox fan, I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they kicked the Smurf out of the Chicago Cubs yesterday afternoon or yesterday evening, and you were actually able to watch the game and see Shota Imanaga give up 3 gopher balls, and you have the players from the Chicago White Sox doing some good stuff, well, it's a lot more bearable, isn't it?
It is, and I've said it on other shows before that I've been a part of. I'm really excited for this White Sox season. Not so much that I'm excited that they're going to make a playoff run, because, that's a long shot this year. But I'm excited to see what this young core of guys that this team has put together can do with the full season.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, we do not get to see Japanese Babe Ruth. Give me the name.
Munetaka Murakami.
Thank you. Mooney.
Yeah, Mooney.
I'm just going to start calling him Mooney. Everyone will know who Mooney is. But, yeah, with Munetake Marakurahi. Smurf me. Okay, do it again. Give me his name.
Munetaka Murakami.
I'm okay, everyone out there in radio land that's listening to Big Top Sports with your stupid arse one. That's STOOPID. I'm going to go home and I'm going to punish myself, and I am going to write and then say
Munetaka Murakami
like 5,000 times. This way I actually get the phonetic spelling. I get the way that the big Japanese Babe Ruthian slugger, how I can say it, because, I mean, I feel kind of stupid right now, considering the fact that this is a station for the Chicago White Sox. And, well, you're hearing a lot of Chicago White Sox spring training games at this particular moment in time. But before we get into the show any further, I mean, it's a little late, almost going on 5-ish. If you want to be a part of any of the sporting conversation going forward, please call in at 847-931-1410. That is 847-931-1410. You could see our lovely faces, both mine and Andrew's, on the youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com at WRMN Radio. And then you could also go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com WRMN Radio, and check out Susie C's question of the day for tomorrow, which would be March 3rd. And it is, let's talk about songs with the word moon in them. And the only song that I could think of that has the word moon in it is the Bad Moon Rising. And I don't know who sings it. I could just hear Bad Moon Rising. And I don't even know the rest of the lyrics to it either at this point. I will once I hear it. Right now, having the foggiest. You have any idea?
To your song? No, I can't think of. I know the song, but I can't think of who sings it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just where I stand with that. Mine is just, I don't know if the song Moonlight can be considered as having the word moon in it, since Moonlight is its own word.
Okay.
I don't know, but that's kind of the first one that popped into my head.
Moonlight.
That's it's a hip hop song from X. We just call him X in my generation. But
X?
XSS
Like
Tentacion.
DMX?
No. XXS Tentacion, which I like.
I have
I don't know where
absolutely
the
no
kid
idea
got that
what the
name.
hell you're talking about.
But that's the guy's name, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But
Oh, okay.
but that's one of his songs. I'd just say that's the first song. When I thought of Moon, that was the first song that came to my head.
Gotcha.
Do I know a lot of other songs? Yes, but that's what popped in my head.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, I'm looking at the score for the this past game for the Chicago White Sox. Unfortunately, they lost 6-5 against the San Francisco Giants. But one recent addition for the Chicago White Sox that came up in this game went 2 for 3, a couple of RBIs, and a ding-donger was Luis Angel Acuna. So that is nice to see. And then, well, who else? Braden Montgomery, he got a hit. Lenine Sosa went 1 for 3 with a run scored. It's nice to see. It's nice to see the contributions. Miguel Vargas was also 1 for 3 as well. Chase Mydroth 0 for 3. Unfortunately, Oliver Dunn had a base on ball. But who else got some ribbies here? Tanner Murray, shortstop. Jared Kalenic, he went 2 for 3 with a ribby and a run scored. Yeah, Corey Lee also contributing as well. So, and as far as the pitching side of things, well, that's not too good for Mr. Davis Martin. Going 3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. But like I said, right now, they're working on things.
This is true.
And as your fodder, the Vader, the Darth Vader, tried to school me off air the other day, where it's like, hey, don't you realize that they're trying to get into game shape? Well, yeah.
That's the whole point of spring trading, right?
This is why pitchers, that's why pitchers and catchers, report early, but they're also trying to work on stuff, Vader. Just saying. But, regardless, I'm here to take the heat. I can handle the smoke. And but it was a very interesting weekend. We also had the Elimination Chamber for the WWE. We had NASCAR just started. And you already have, what was it, Reddick winning 3 NASCAR events in a row right out the get-go.
And we will discuss how important and jaw-dropping that is after the break, right?
That is a nice little tease right there. Hey, Illinois Media School is paying off for you, Andrew. Maybe I should have paid a little bit more attention. You wouldn't get all this smurf. Frickin' firecracker. But hey, you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. He's Andrew Sheid. And we're going to be talking some Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley, CM Punk, AJ Lee, and
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Pro tip: The BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better, check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards bureau. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. Illinois voters who missed the registration deadline can still vote in the March 17th primary. Residents may register in person during early voting or on Election Day with proper ID and proof of address. Illinois lawmakers are reviving a plan to create a prescription drug affordability board that could cap prices on certain medications. Supporters say it would save taxpayers millions, while pharmaceutical companies warn it could limit access to treatments. The proposal is still awaiting committee action in Springfield. The Illinois Housing Development Authority is seeking public input on low-income housing tax credit allocations. IHDA will hold hybrid meetings March 11th in Springfield and March 20th in Chicago. An online survey is also open for residents to share feedback on funding priorities. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. Illinois lawmakers are reviving a plan to create a prescription drug affordability board that could cap prices on certain medications. Supporters say it would save taxpayers millions, while pharmaceutical companies warn it could limit access to treatments. The proposal is still awaiting committee action in Springfield. The Illinois Housing Development Authority is seeking public input on low-income housing tax credit allocations. IHDA will hold hybrid meetings March 11th in Springfield and March 20th in Chicago. An online survey is also open for residents to share feedback on funding priorities. Illinois voters who missed the registration deadline can still vote in the March 17th primary. Residents may register in person during early voting or on Election Day with proper ID and proof of address. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. This afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 45. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 31. Looking ahead to Tuesday, expect mostly cloudy skies with a high near 45 and a chance of rain showers later in the day. Currently, it's 44 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports fan from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Joining me in studio, it is Andrew Sheid. But before we get into our next topic of the day, don't forget to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or check us out on the youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's the tube of views, youtube.com at WRMN Radio. And join in on this sporting conversation. And ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Well, before we went to break, my co-host here, Andrew Sheid, brought up the fact that who did what?
Well, if we want to look at it in the Chicago point of view, Michael Jordan just won his third NASCAR race as a team owner, but Tyler Reddick as a driver won his third straight NASCAR win. And the cool thing about that, Derek, it has not been done in NASCAR history ever.
What?
Over 70 years of NASCAR history, no one has won 3 races back to back to back to back.
Back to back to back.
I think I did 1 2 bar.
Well, I mean, if he goes on to win another race this upcoming weekend, and I don't know where it's at because I haven't looked that far ahead, but yes, this is the first time ever. And when I say ever, I mean ever and ever and ever, as Andrew had said, first time in 70 years, 70, that to start a NASCAR Cup Series season, that a racer has opened up at Daytona 500 or ever and won 3 consecutive races in a row. Tyler Reddick, the first dude to ever do this, surpassing the previous record of starting with 2 wins in a row. And as you had alluded to, Andrew, yes, he is on the racing team co-owned by Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Denny Hamlin, 2311 Racing. Not only that, but in the Circuit of the Americas, which is the previous race that he won yesterday on March the 1st, he also led 58 of 95 laps. I mean, admittedly, I am no racing guru or racing expert, but something tells me, and maybe you could help me out with this, that's pretty damn good.
I mean, yeah, I have an uncle who is really in NASCAR, so I learned a little bit more than a normal person would at a young age.
Well, I am definitely I'm an abnormal person, but please continue.
So when sitting and watching races with him, I got to learn a lot, but to be able to lead over 50 laps of a 95-lap race, that's not just the driver. I mean, yeah, most of it's our driver doing a great job out there on the course.
Yeah.
But it's also the team he's got behind him doing a nice job as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see. So he opened the NASCAR Series season, or the Cup Series season, I should say, with a win at the Daytona 500 on February 15th. Following week, at the Auto Trader 400 in Atlanta, Hotlanta, home of the lemon pepper wings. Yeah, that's another story all on its own. But on February 22nd, and then this past weekend at the Duramax Texas Grand Prix at COTA, which go back here, which is the Circuit of the Americas. Damn. And I mean, it's pretty damn good. No? Okay, cool.
No, it is. It is. And the question can be, can he keep it going? I mean, that's going to be the big question. Are you going to win these 3 races, then be middle of the pack the rest of the year? Are you going to stay up near the top? Or are you going to keep winning? What are you going to show us?
Yeah, and we won't know until March 8th, which is the next race, and that is obviously 6 days from today, so a week ago from yesterday, and the next race is going to be at the Phoenix Raceway, and he's looking to go ahead and extend his lead and basically get a very nice cushion for when it comes down. Because, I mean, okay, It's only 3 races.
Right.
And it is, if I'm not mistaken, a 36 race season.
I believe you're correct.
So, with that being said, there's a whole hell of a lot more racing to be done. But I mean, first time in history, first time in 70 years that, this has transpired. And I don't know, when you get off to a start like that, I mean, this could potentially be a very historical season for Tyler Reddick. I'm going to pick Bob Mariner's brain when he comes in, probably Monday, or not Monday, today's Monday, but when he comes in on either like Wednesday and or Thursday to see what he says, because he's like, ain't no way in hell. I'm like, haha, I told you. Why not? Why not?
Right.
But hey, everyone, since we're talking about winning, guess who won yesterday's basketball game?
I know.
Hold on. Ben Johnson!
Yeah. Thank you. I was going to bring that up today. So can we talk about this for a sec?
Well, we can absolutely talk about this on the other side of the upcoming break. Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bulls won for the first game in March, putting to bed that horrendous 0-4 in February. I'm Derrick Geyer. He's Andrew Sheid. This is Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM. Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bulls win a basketball game yesterday. More on the other side.
Here on WRMN AM 1410, we like to keep you informed and in tune to what's happening here in the Fox River Valley.
Was it the whole Ben Johnson effect to the United States?
We recognize the importance of local radio.
Because it wasn't just a win, like it was a 120
and to be a part of the community
win.
for the community.
It was a comfortable win at that.
But supporting community radio is a big deal too. And for WRMN, this is a really cool thing that you guys do every day.
I still wish you would have gone full
You
shirtless.
have to have a local media outlet to talk about what's going on in your town. So you guys do a nice job.
Tune in to AM 1410 WRMN.
The Reds beat the Cubs.
Don't forget, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/WRMN Radio. Keep in tune and informed on what's happening here in the Fox River Valley, right here on WRMN.
Interview with Marquis to start spring training. He even said, first year I punched the MLB, second year the MLB punched me.
Ready to tackle your junk piles? Call the Junk Luggers. From old furniture to entire cleanouts, we do the heavy lifting. And here's the best part. We rehome and recycle as much as possible to keep it all out of landfills. Feel good about your clean out the green way. Call 1-800-LUG-JUNK or visit junkluggers.com today for your eco-friendly, stress-free service.
Last week when I was talking
Looking for the perfect midday pick-me-up? Tune in on Out to Lunch on WRMN AM 1410. Weekdays at midday. Out to Lunch brings a fresh, energetic look at local life, diving into the stories, events, and conversations shaping our community. From lively talk and new discoveries to real voices from around town. It's the perfect mix of entertainment, information, and hometown spirit. Listen on WRMN AM 1410 or watch us live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Out to Lunch. Spice up your midday morning.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss. Like more than 70 million stars.
Coming back in 30.
Skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage. Because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person. Complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Joining me in studio today, it is none other than Andrew Mighty Man Sheid.
How's it going, Derrick?
Oh, there you are.
How's it going? I didn't know if you were to ask me or what was going on, but I saved us there. Well, whatever.
We're kind of like, we got to work on our chemistry here today. I think we're like a little bit off, but it is a Monday.
Yeah.
Regardless, but hey, don't look now. The Chicago Bulls are currently 1-0 in the month of March.
What?
What happened was Ben Johnson happened. Well, Ben Johnson was in attendance for last night's Chicago Bulls game, or actually last afternoon's Chicago Bulls game, and the players must have felt it. They must have felt the spark, because I know the arena was rocking yesterday with Ben Johnson in attendance. Him going all ham and everything in the box, pump faking the audience. Maybe the audience and everything at the United Center yesterday with the Bulls' victory over the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe they were like expecting Ben Johnson to go full on shirtless and maybe getting some more hot dogs from the Wiener Circle. But the Chicago Bulls did, in fact, come out on top of the Milwaukee Bucks, 122-97. A certain Mr. Giddey ended up with a triple-double. But I don't think necessarily it was the fact that Giddey got the triple-double. I mean, it might have helped a little bit. It also might have helped that the Chicago Bulls outscored the Milwaukee Bucks 33-8 in the fourth quarter. But I just think that this is the Ben Johnson effect.
I was thinking that same thing when, one, I saw that he was there. Two, I saw what the score was at the end of the game. And three, that I saw in the third quarter that they went on a 27-0 run. And I'm like, you put all those things together, it has to be the Ben Johnson effect. And this just adds to that Chicago would say, yes, there is a Ben Johnson effect in Chicago, and not just with the Chicago Bears, but with Chicago sports.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love them some Ben Johnson? Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, Andrew, say something.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway.
But that's just the best thing about it is Ben Johnson has gone full Chicago since his time since starting with the Bears.
Okay, one thing that I need to say about whether it's Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, whether it is PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, who's that guy that's on the Cold Steel on Ice? Oh yeah, Connor Bedard. And then you also have, I'm waiting for an athlete to emerge from the Chicago White Sox to really be like the holy, not the Holy Trinity, because the Holy Trinity, I believe, is three. The holy square,
I think,
if you will.
As Sox fans, and if there are any out there listening or watching on YouTube, they can call in or type it in and correct me. But I think as Sox fans, we really look at Chase Meidroth.
Chase Meidroth, really?
Because what?
Hold on. And if you want to get a part of this weird conversation that Andrew is bringing up right now, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. As I am backing the truck up over him right now. Chase Meidroth, really?
Yeah, because here's what I think.
Not Colson Montgomery?
This is my opinion.
Not Mooney Kadaka Chawiyama?
Okay. Here's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to need to write that name down and phonetically get it correct.
Here's my opinion with that. I just think that Mooney is unproven, right?
Sure.
You don't know what he's going to do in the MLB.
True. Yep.
But we know Meidroth can do a lot. And I feel like once he's developed and becomes that seasoned MLB player, that he can be a star for the Chicago White Sox. I really do.
Okay. My jury is out on that as far as Chase Mydroth being that type of guy. But I'm kind of in the wait and see program of this team with the Chicago White Sox, which you could hear a majority of their games being broadcast on WRMN 1410 AM here in the Fox River Valley area. The one thing that I heard over the weekend, and I heard this numerous of times, and I'm glad that we're kind of talking about it right now, was the fact that, give me Mooney's name.
Murtaka Morkami.
Thank you. And with Mooney, that it would be a letdown, an obvious letdown, if he doesn't hit 30 to 40 bombs this year.
I don't think that'll be a letdown because let's be honest about it here. We don't know how he's going to hit in a regular game situation. The one thing I do know is we know that the rate is a hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yes.
So that could play into his advantage, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and see, even still, because and all of the other people in the know are saying that coming over from Japan and playing in the MLB, I mean, huge gap. Not to say that the Japanese Babe Ruth isn't able to conquer that gap or be like Godzilla and come in and lay waste to the American League or baseball for that matter. But at the same time, when pitchers in Japan throw somewhere in the range of 90 to 93 miles an hour,
right,
and you're coming over into Major League Baseball, where quite frequently you got the flamethrowers throwing lightning bolts or, fireballs or however you want to call it in the upper 90s. And when I say upper 90s, 96 to 99, sometimes some players, hey, Brendan, how you doing? Sometimes players even throwing, 104, 105 miles an hour. I mean, that's a unicorn at this point. But can he get on top of the high heat like that?
Right. And let's not forget, you got a lot of closers that I've seen go over 100 miles an hour.
Right.
We've seen that. So, I mean, how's it going to translate? I mean, this is the way I look at it. You're going to have to let the kid come into his own as an MLB player. Not a JBL player, but an MLB player.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I am really kind of chomping at the bit is to see how he is going to handle the World Baseball Classic, which for the start of the WBC is going to be this Friday. Although they're going to have exhibition games starting tomorrow.
This is true. I think each country that's participating gets 2 exhibition games against 2 different MLB clubs.
Right. And the other thing is like, because he's playing for Team Japan.
Right.
Unfortunately, missed him on the last couple of games that the Chicago White Sox are playing because he's already in Japan.
Right.
He's been there for
at least a week, I think it is.
Or so.
Yeah.
So kind of hard to really catch up on that. But if it's going to be the finals, whether it be Japan taking on Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic or the United States or Canada or whatever, I'm really interested to see how he is going to handle that. I don't think that there's going to be any issues or anything for him. But at the same time, it's like, well, it's almost, as far as I'm concerned, where you have the best skaters in the world,
right,
going and playing hockey in the Olympics.
Yeah.
best in the world against best in the world, and the number of players that are playing in the WBC, the amount of future Hall of Famers, the amount of future, studs. Right. I want to see how he handles Tarek Skubal. I want to see how he handles Paul Skeens.
Right.
I want to see how, and even still, I'm just skimming the surface as far as the best pitchers in the world going up against the best hitters in the world, going against the best players in the world going up against one another.
Right.
And I am really interested. This is the one thing that I want to see, more than anything.
I'm really excited to watch him in the WBC. I'm like,
see everyone. I just don't talk about the Chicago Cubs. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. And I know a lot of the people out there, Sox fans, are interested to see this as well.
This is true.
Hey, you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. He is Andrew Sheid. We'll be back in a few.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. Illinois voters who missed the registration deadline can still vote in the March 17th.
Wait, there I am. And then you've been looking at me talk this entire time, and I was not on air. Okay, so how did you... holy Smurf. This is what happens when I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I forget how to do a God-blessed radio show. So, as you were seeing my lips move and nothing come out... I was asking everyone out there.
You were like Al Jolson and the Jazz Singer if things didn't go right.
Shut up, Andrew. Oh, jeez Louise. What the frack? Okay, so how's everyone feeling about the Chicago White Sox? How are you guys feeling about the Chicago Cubs? How are you feeling about the WBC, the World Baseball Classic? How are you feeling about Tyler Reddick winning 3 NASCAR events in a row? Do you think he's going to go for a 4th? Did you watch the WWE Elimination Chamber this weekend that apparently was freaking free, and I had absolutely no idea about it? I was just getting all the video clips and everything back and forth, but yeah. Yeah, but hey, Shota Longball Imanaga, holy Smurf.
He needs to figure something out.
What the frack was that? I mean, hey, good for the Chicago White Sox batters and everything to, get in on that. And actually, I'm going to pull that up real quick because I think we're going to come back with this after the bottom of the hour break. Chicago White Sox beating the Chicago Cubs yesterday with a score of 5-1.
And that means our friend here at WRMN, their new hitting coach, is doing a good job over there to start spring training. Well, and they're making contact the way they've been, not only against the Cubs, but just to start spring training.
Yeah, that's been pretty impressive, actually. We're going to be coming back from the bottom of the hour in about a minute or so. Yeah, but, I mean, okay, how many home runs? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 homers yesterday. I could have sworn there was more. I mean, it sure as hell seemed like there was more, considering the fact that... I don't know. I really have absolutely no idea what in the hell is going on with Shota. I mean, he came back he started spring training fine. It seemed like, and this is where I become a little bit of a hypocrite. And I think that's where I'll leave it off right now.
Okay.
And we'll come back with it because I kind of feel like I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. just for the simple fact that, oh, spring training, they need to work on stuff. And yet, it's because it's Shota, I'm feeling like a certain kind of way. At least that's my take on it. Coming back in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports. Where? On WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer and Andrew Sheid. But before we get into any of our Shota Long Ball Imanaga talk, feel free to go onto the WRMN Facebook page and check out Susie C's question of the day for tomorrow. And it is, let's talk about songs, or not really the question of the day, more of the statement of the day. Let's talk about songs with the word moon in it. Yes, let's do that. And let's also call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. And you could also check us out on WRMN or YouTube at WRMN Radio. That's YouTube at WRMN Radio. Great googly moogly, as I said it on the tube of views. If you were paying attention or watching, I left the mic up during the last break and the break before that, but I was actually did it intentionally. Left the video feed up, and I potted down. Well, I potted down the audio feed, so all you hear or all you see is the my talking face, and realize, oh, Smurf, I guess I need to. Anyway, it's Monday. It's Monday Mayhem. And what is your takeaway from the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox facing off yesterday, Andrew?
Well, as a White Sox fan, I was happy to see that one.
Shut up.
I'm just being honest. But as a Chicago sports radio guy as I am, to see Shota struggling like that, it makes me scratch my head. And I think you were kind of alluding to the same thing during break.
Yeah, I was. So every once in a while, I'll just go ahead and I'll keep the youtube.com at WRMN feed up, and I'll have a conversation with basically myself and or Andrew for the viewers watching and or listening on the tube of views. But I might be a hypocrite is the consensus that the squirrels in my brain kind of came up with in regards to Shota Long Ball Imanaga. I think that's just how I'm going to refer to him until things maybe get worked out. Because, and here's where I'm the hypocrite. Last week I was talking about, I'm not really too worried about the pitchers that have been there and done that before going through spring training because we don't know what they're working on.
Right.
We don't know whether or not it's just fastballs, whether it's changeups, sliders, curves, whatever. Yet, I'm suffering from I feel like I'm suffering from a little bit of Shota PTSD from the last half of last season when Shota Longball Imanaga was on the mound. First game this year, I sang his praises. Up a couple of ticks with the fastball. I mean, not in the neighborhood of 96 or anything, but he's, throwing 92 to 93, topped out at 94.1 miles an hour on a pitch. And which was good. He seemed healthy. He looked healthy. But then yesterday happens, and he gives up 3 home runs. And that's not to take away anything from the Chicago White Sox. Austin Hayes, new bat. Edgar Carroll, old bat. Lenine Sosa, old bat. Braden Montgomery, newish bat. And also went 2 for 3 yesterday, which is good to see. So, I don't know. Maybe, hold on a second. Derrick Showtime Showman might be figuring things out with the Chicago White Sox hitters.
Right, because, obviously he's figured out something that his predecessors couldn't. And I'm one guy to say that whoever was in his seat before, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, was not doing a good job. Because from what I saw last year, yes, hitting was getting a little better, but they still weren't hitting for contact. They were trying to hit the long ball. It seemed like every other batter. And to me, small ball is what wins you ball games. Because when you can manufacture runs and then, let's say, sprinkle in a solo homer here or 2-run homer there, but still able to manufacture 2 runs here just by hitting a double. That's what wins ball games, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And make no mistake about it. It's been well documented that the air is thinner in Arizona. The ball flies a little bit better in Arizona. But with that being said, it's also kind of indicative of what happens at the rate. The rate is kind of a bandbox. And bandbox meaning it plays smaller. You get the ball, and apparently the bear, up in the jet stream, it's going to fly over the wall. The ball. I'm not so sure about the bear. But maybe if Ben Johnson's in the stadium, stuff will, Smurf
maybe
will,
if we could get Ben Johnson to throw out a first pitch at a game or something.
Or Caleb Williams, and, but it looks like, it looks like Caleb might be a Cubs fan because of PCA. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. But it's the ground-up approach that I think Showman and maybe Chris Getz and the leadership staff of the Chicago White Sox is taking on the early part of this 2026 spring training so far.
Right.
And to go back, Marcus Thames, he was the hitting coach from 24 to 25 last year. Jose Castro, 2023, he was the interim. But that's something that needs to have been figured out. Not necessarily needs to be figured out, but because when you have your opponents coming in, and the biggest advantage that you should have for the rate and the Chicago White Sox is the fact that you play there 81 games a year. You should know how the park plays.
Right.
You should be able to take a proper approach to using it to the best of your ability and advantage for your team. Is it possible that this is slowly getting turned around step by step?
I do, because this is what I believe. And, my opinion was Will Venable came in last year and had to see who he was working with, who he had to work with, and what he could do. But I think this year, I could be wrong, but my opinion, he probably could have said in his head, okay, this is what didn't work last year. Let's tear this down to the studs and rebuild it, which I think is honestly what he's done with the hitting. He got himself a new hitting coach, a guy he feels can bring something different to this White Sox ball club, and so far it looks like he's right.
Well, and in being around and watching from a distance, if you will, it's not like I'm in there in the cage taking any batting practice or whatever. I mean, but I have had a few conversations with Derrick Geyer, the new hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox, and it's just getting the approaches, and it's building the foundations to whether or not to actually have meaningful at bats, because he was the hitting coach with the Miami Marlins.
Right.
He did a hell of a job with the Miami Marlins.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, so which is why, hey, you did such a good job with the Miami freaking Marlins. Why don't you come over here and help us out and figure things with yet another young core of batters and players and everything? Because, well, they need to work on it and actually take the approaches, whether it be going the other way, having a better two-strike approach. Look for your zones, whether or not they can tweak stuff, make hitters better. And I know I'm kind of like preaching to the choir, and this is everything that a hitting coach would do. But maybe there's like a different message, because while in my dealings with Showman is that he is very relaxed.
Okay.
Yet, dude is freaking intense.
Okay. Here's the thing. I like that, because he could talk to a player calmly to, you know, make them comfortable. But then again, if you smurf the bed, he could get uppity and get intense with you at the same time.
Absolutely. But I mean, and it's always been troublesome. And when I say it's always been troublesome, it's always been interesting, because so you have 8 pitchers on a pitching staff, maybe 9, whatever, and it's a 25, 26-man roster. So you're dealing with 15, 16 different athletes, batters, position players. So the one message isn't going to get through to a certain player like it will with another. So you need different approaches,
right?
Which is, you know, kind of like what, going back to Ben Johnson this year and the Chicago Bears and all of that stuff, where it's like, hey, listen, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And you have everyone. You have the one message getting through loud and clear. Baseball players are a little bit different than, you know, football players in my guesstimation or my estimation. So, and especially when you have the Latin players, you have, well, Japanese players, and you have to get through and potentially have the conversations with interpreters to where it's like, well, English isn't their first language. Hell, it might not even be their second or third language. But yet, you need to like convey what's going on. So, and I just hope, and it kind of seems like things are going right and correct, because in the off season, hey, okay, this is what you're working on. Okay, tweak this, do that, you know, and come in, and we'll actually, when spring training comes in, or when you get here for spring training, you are actually, or he, Derrick Geyer, is able to work with them diligently to say, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? You know, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But sure seems to be like off to a pretty damn good start.
But here's the thing I don't want to see as a Sox fan is have a good spring training and then coming in opening day and playing nothing like you did during spring training. Because let's be honest. Yes, the White Sox, to open the season, they are playing in Milwaukee. So it'll probably be a closed dome at that point in the season in March in Milwaukee.
Could be.
So they have that working for them. But still, is it gonna translate from spring training to the regular season? And that has yet to be seen.
Well, one of the good things is like, and I think I said this when I came back from vacation last week, was that in going through the first month of the Chicago White Sox season, yeah, they start in Milwaukee, dome place. If it's going to be any of this up and down weather, I'm pretty sure that they're going to have the dome closed.
Yeah.
Because for all we know, it's going to snow. But you know, then they go down to Miami.
Right. Which
they come home for I believe it's 7 games, which is going to suck because, I mean, baseball in Chicago kind of sucks in the beginning of the season, April, May-ish.
I was about to say end of April, beginning of May is when you really start to get comfortable Chicago baseball weather.
60, 70 degrees. Okay, cool. But then they go out to Oakland. I'm sorry, Sacramento.
Yes, they're still playing at Steinbrenner.
And then they no, that's down in Florida there.
Oh.
Steinbrenner. But then they're also playing in Arizona.
Okay.
So it's like half the start of the season is in a decent climate, which isn't going to necessarily affect them, except maybe, you know, playing at the rate and then going down to Kansas City and playing them for a series there.
Right.
Still, yes, it's Kansas City, but regardless. You are currently listening to... That was a really good transition right there. Oh. Hey, you're listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. I'm Derrick Geyer. He's Andrew Sheid. Elimination Chamber on the other side of this break.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated.
Yep, that's right. We are going to be talking WWE Elimination Chamber. I wish I had seen it all. I do know what has transpired, so I will be able to get my little bitty, itty bitty take off on that. Andrew, you watched the entire thing, yeah?
Yes, I was working. The only thing I missed is the majority of the AJ Lee fight.
Okay.
Because I was just doing stuff, helping my parents out with things.
Okay.
But for the most part, yeah, I saw both the men's and women's elimination chamber round. I did see the CM Punk fight. That stuff I did all see.
Well, that's not wrestling. That's not fighting. That's wrestling. That's wrestling. And how dare you talk about that? Because wrestling is fake.
You know what? I'll say this. My mom always says that. You know, I'll say this. And Nick Johnston from On the Rise has said the same thing, and we've talked about this. Do the writers sit and say, you know, who's going to win this match? Yes. But do we know as a public who's going to win that? No. And is it fake to the point where they aren't slamming each other into mats or hitting each other with chairs? That ain't all fake. That's all happening. And that's why there's literally 2 months sometimes in between matches, because these wrestlers need to physically recover from getting the Smurf kicked out of them.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's okay. So I liken it to, and I've said this before, might as well get us up on there. I did again. Holy Smurf. You know, this time we're having a conversation and we're talking, and all it is, you know, we're talking, and oh my great googly moogly.
It's Monday. I think we get a pass on Mondays.
Oh man, I don't understand like where my head is at. My head is so far up my ass right now that it's just I Jesus. Anyway, We're coming back in 30. But yeah, I mean, it is a soap opera. It is the male equivalent of a soap opera. That's all I got. That's what I got. And so much it is, that you got the CBS Guiding Light, or I don't know, we're Young and the Restless, As the World Turns. I'm dating myself going back because I don't even know if they're back, but we are coming back live in 5 seconds. Mic is still open. And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Joining me in studio today, it is none other than Andrew Sheid. And before we get into the WWE Elimination Chamber, don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning with the WRMN Morning Show. Susie C., David Tease, and the question or the statement of the day for the WRMN Morning Show, which is, let's talk about songs with the word moon in them. Okay, Andrew, you watched the Elimination Chamber. I've seen clips of the Elimination Chamber. I still feel like I could talk about it, but what were what was a high point for you of the Elimination Chamber?
The high point for me was because this was CM Punk's first match at the UC. He's had matches in Chicago, but they have not been at the United Center, right?
It wasn't at the United Center. It was at Allstate.
No, it was at the United Center.
Was it?
Yep. It was at the UC.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, go on.
So to see CM Punk, when he entered the stadium, he entered to the Chicago Bulls anthem.
Oh, no kidding.
So,
no, I really gotta.
For a Chicago born and raised guy to walk into the United Center to that anthem, I don't know what he was thinking in his head, but it had to have been like a little school child to believe, to believe I'm doing this, right? Because we all grew up listening to that anthem and listening to, the Chicago Bulls being introduced, right?
Oh, get the hell out of here. I had okay, because this, and as I am reading it, first off, raising my hand, I had absolutely no idea that it took place at the United Center. I thought it was taking place at the Allstate Arena, which is usually where the event is, where any of the premium live events for the WWE has taken place in the last 30 years. Holy Smurf, go on.
No, that's the thing that really stuck with me is him walking out to that anthem, and it just, for everyone in Chicago that was there, that had to mean something. It meant something to me that, hey, a Chicago native is taking place in this, not just one, but two, and AJ Lee also being
she's not from here.
Her adopted home, as she calls it.
Sure.
But that really stuck with me, and just the fact that his match did it surprise me that he came out the winner? Let's be honest, no. That bullshit, what they call both Chicago people win their matches. That doesn't surprise me. What surprised me in that is how long his match was. And how many times you actually because I actually thought that he was going to lose that match 3 to 4 times while watching it live.
Well, my take on that match was I thought that Dominic Mysterio was going to come out and screw over Finn Balor. That's what I thought, and I thought it was going to be the end of the Judgment Day. Real quick, what was a low point for the Elimination Chamber?
I thought the men's Elimination Chamber was just too short, and they didn't put on a good show.
Okay, fair.
In my opinion.
What about Logan Paul?
Logan Paul needs to just stop being a something.
I could kind of get on that train with you, but at the same point in time, my goodness, Logan Paul is an absolute stud and an absolute beast of an athlete, and I find myself liking him more and more because he is doing things that it boggles my mind.
Right.
He's an absolute
But
beast.
for Seth Rollins to come out and end his match like that,
hey,
I don't know if that was dirty or not.
This has been Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Have a great rest of your day.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response.
Actually, I mean, let's do this properly. Let's give this a proper Big Top Sports send-off here on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Okay, so you think that he should have not interfered? I mean, he's getting back to the vision. He's getting back at the vision after getting screwed over, Seth Rollins.
Right. And I get what they said. You know, I like that they tied in, again, another Chicago guy and with Seth Rollins and all that. But again, I think it would have been awesome to see Logan Paul make it a little further in that elimination match, because when he was able to pin 3 separate opponents, I mean, I was just ready to see, could he get the 4th?
Oh, sure.
You know?
Well, and in that aspect, I mean, they're kind of, see, now it's setting up for Seth Rollins to go against Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Right.
So this is where they're starting to really push Logan Paul now that he's a full-time WWE superstar. Excuse me. And now it's also, I mean, kind of setting it up where it's either going to be, because now all of a sudden I'm interested on Friday Night SmackDown. This lead up, as far as I'm concerned, to WrestleMania season, or to WrestleMania that's taking place next month, has been kind of It's just been
Okay.
And now all of a sudden, because I'm a little Cody Rhodes out. I'm Cody Rhodes out.
That, yeah, you know, and you could say a lot of people are like, oh, I thought Cody Rhodes was going to win the Elimination Chamber because it's kind of the one thing missing from his resume, right?
Right. But, I mean, then there's also the fact that, okay, Drew McIntyre comes in and he screws over Cody Rhodes. Cool. Ish. I mean, kind of screwed him over, kind of not, but I mean, nice to see Randy Orton get in there, and where Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton kind of like teamed up. One was like the Crossroads, then the RKO from Randy, but then all of a sudden Randy does what Randy does because the Viper.
I don't think Cody Rhodes knew that was coming.
Well,
because it happened so succinctly.
Oh, it was one of those things that is perfect WWE for as long as I can remember. It was boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Where one thing happened after the next, happened after the next, happened after the next. And it was in such quick succession where, one, you had the unveiling or the masked man coming in, Seth Rollins, doing the curb stomp to Logan Paul. Logan Paul gets pinned. Logan Paul is out.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, Seth Rollins is going out the ring, and who comes in?
Drew
McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, thank you.
Drew McIntyre comes in,
blank, sorry.
hits Cody in the back of the head with his title, does a Claymore to him, and then Randy Orton, or
it's basically Randy Orton's for the taking at that point.
Right. So now all of a sudden you got that. And then after the Elimination Chamber, you've got, what is it? Nick Aldis.
Yes.
I think it's Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right there.
Going to the post-Elimination Chamber, saying that, well, he's tired of this Smurf. And it's going to get settled on Friday Night SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre for the title. And, okay, now all of a sudden I'm kind of interested.
I was about to say, now I'm going to have to watch Friday Night SmackDown because... Right. You want to see where that's going to play out. And to what you were saying before, Logan Paul is becoming a bona fide WWE star. And I think a lot of people might say that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because I think he's got a little bit smarter head on him than his brother, and I will say that.
Oh, I don't. A
little bit. I will say a little bit. But here's the thing: he's a good athlete.
He's a damn good athlete, and I mean,
that helps in the WWE world.
He is right up there with like the likes of the high flyers like Dominic Mysterio, and I don't care. I don't give a single solitary smurf at this point, because I'm trying to say, for as little time as he's actually been in the WWE, I think it's maybe like 4 or 5 years now.
Right.
He is definitely emerging as one of those high flyers.
Right.
All of the swantons, all of the, top turnbuckle stuff onto the announce table. This is like the stuff that you're expecting from him now.
Right.
The match where he actually punched his ticket to the elimination chamber, where he did that springboard backflip, whatever.
Right.
And damn near jumped out of the ring.
And when they were talking about that, I had to go back on a commercial break and watch it on YouTube.
Shot it.
So I could see what they were talking about because I missed that match. So
I mean, dude, I don't. And he's doing a freaking backflip. Not doing the Shane McMahon thing, going post to post off of like from one post or one corner of the ring to the other corner of the ring. No, he is doing a back flip or a back moonsault or whatever that move is. And he is, his legs almost were out of the ring. And he overshot it by like 2 feet-ish to where it would have been an actual clean backflip.
And it begs the question that I believe WWE has started to turn from the big hulking wrestler we've seen in Ric Flair and guys like John Cena, The Rock, to more athletic guys like Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio that are still athletic and big, bulky guys, but also can move fast.
Yeah. That is absolutely amazing. I am, while I still cannot stand Logan Paul's character, if you will.
Okay.
Or maybe even Logan Paul himself, because, it's kind of hard for me to discern like where Logan Paul, the person, because he's so humble.
Right.
Because he's such an ass. Where he just like seems like he's such an ass jackass.
Okay.
I almost said the a-hole. But he is such a good heel. Right?
He is.
Well, in my opinion, he's such a pretty damn good heel. One of the things one of the people that I'm glad did not win it, the Elimination Chamber for the men's match.
All right.
Trick Williams.
Yeah, I just don't think he would have been that. No.
I mean, Trick Willie, with his lemon pepper steppers, and whatever. I couldn't get on board with him in TNT, not TNT, NXT. Thank you. I couldn't get on board with him. I want to root for Javon Evans. He's like 21 years old. He shot up the ranks and everything. I think he's been in NXT or part of WWE since he's like been 18, finally getting this, chance on the main roster, 21 years old. Hey, cool. I just can't get on with his like persona or his character. And I don't know how to put my finger on it and like why.
Right.
But regardless, what was so the men's match? Yeah, I need to go back and watch it.
It was subpar, but you expect to see a lot more, especially in the Elimination Chamber. You expect to see more outside of the ring, right?
Yeah, but I
saw a lot more of that in the women's match than you did the men's match.
See, and I think while it is dubbed the most brutal match, I think the most brutal match in the WWE is probably still the Hell in the Cell. But at the same time, yes, this is probably like 1A, 1B, Hell in the Cell, Elimination Chamber, just because it's like 30 tons of steel and whatever. But I also think they're kind of like going away from it, even though it's on the road to WrestleMania and all that smurf. But I just think that they're kind of taking it a little bit easier because, well, they don't want to get their main top tiered talent injured.
Right, and I think we saw that in the Elimination Chamber with the women's winner and Rhea Ripley, because we saw in one move where you clearly saw that she destroyed her back on a backflip. I mean, you clearly saw it, and you clearly saw that it was affecting her the rest of the match.
Oh yeah, because the two guys that should be in WrestleMania. Well, you got one, the dog, Braun Breaker. What happened? Injured himself working out.
Right.
He's missing it. Then you had Big Bronson Reed. He's out. He tore his bicep or something or pectoral muscle, and he's out. And that's two of the key cogs of what the Vision is. And I could just imagine what Paul Triple H Levesque is going through. Like, oh, holy smurf. Another of their top tier talent that was supposed to be like, on the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. And now it's like, now what do we do? What are we going to do now?
Right.
Oh, well, Seth freaking Rollins was out. Oh, well, he's going to be making a comeback, which he did. But, Jesus Christ, geez Louise.
I guess we'll have to, wait and see, but that's the big thing with that, I guess.
Well, on to Monday Night Raw tonight. Friday, I'll have to watch the taping of Friday Night SmackDown because I will be covering an event. But hey, this has been bonus Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Yours truly, Derrick Geyer. He's Andrew Sheid. And hey, everyone, have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your evening. And come back and do it again tomorrow, probably after the Chicago White Sox game, but I won't know until showtime. I wish I did. I wish you did, but I don't. It kind of is what it is. But as Susie C. would say from the WRMN Morning Show, it's fine. It's all fine. We'll find it out. Anyway, have a great rest of your night, everyone. No, you don't want to say anything?
Yeah, just have a good night, everybody, and can't wait to be back with you next week, Derek.
Yep, have a good one, Andrew. And wait. I am so sorry that I did not actually. One more point of business. What the hell did you just start today?
Well, it unfortunately did not start today, but it will be starting Friday because we had to move some stuff around.
Oh, okay.
But Friday, March 6th at 10 a.m., and I'm really excited for this, a teaser show will be coming out from my new show on the Prime Coverage Sports Network. It's called the Sports Mayhem Podcast. It'll be coming out Friday.
Gee, I wonder where you got Friday the mayhem mornings. Part from.
It'll come out Monday and Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Time.
Wait, do it again because I just stepped all over your moment, and I'm an ass for doing that.
Starting March 9th will be the official start date. Will be the start of my new show on the Prime Coverage Sports Network. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.
Damn.
And catch us all there. It'll be a show basically covering all sports at all levels. So basically, if I find out that a high schooler did something crazy that made national news, I'm going to talk about it, because why not? And I'm really excited to get this started. It'll be a 2-hour show.
Really?
Hopefully things will go well and more stuff will come with it. But really good support system over there at Prime Coverage Sports Network, as well as here. You guys always support me here with all my new adventures.
I'm kind of curious, though, before we do actually sign off. What's your co-host name and where is he from?
His name is Sal, and he has such a last name that I cannot pronounce. I don't even want to try to pronounce it because I feel like I'm going to butcher it even trying.
Like Munitaka Marna. Wait, what? Munitaka
Murakami.
Murakami. Oh, holy smurf.
But
Munitaki Mana More.
Sal
Muni. Hey, wait, he's from New York?
Yeah, he is New York based.
Sal, you suck. That's right. I'm talking to you, Sal. You New Yorkers out there, you think that you have all this smurf. Oh, the New York Knicks are so good. The New Jersey Nets are so good. Oh, the New York Giants, the New York Jets. Oh, woe is me, woe is me. Go frack yourself. That's right. I said it.
But I'm excited to get this off the ground. Like I said, there will be a teaser show coming out this Friday to kind of just talk about what the show's going to be about, introduce ourselves, and yeah, like the show said, it's going to tease you guys a little bit about what's coming up.
Yeah,
but I'm excited.
And you could tell fracking Sal that I tell him and he can go frack himself. Anyway, that's it for us. Have a great rest of your night and week if you're not tuning in. And why the hell aren't you tuning in on WRMN 1410 AM radio? Wait, I could do that better. WRMN. Wait. Oh, holy smurf, forget it. I'm done. Later, y'all.